So local business owners are furious over the city's plan to turn 4 hotels into housing for the homeless. The Housing Commission announcing the plan in April, and that's going to cost taxpayers about $160 million. To voice her concern is Kate Monroe, CEO of Vetcom.us. Thank you again for coming on, Kate. Always have a pleasure to have you on. You have hands-on experience in helping veterans overcome homelessness.
Correct.
Why is this housing first philosophy a bad idea?
Well, you know, housing first, I don't think they take into account who should be in the housing first model. You know, they just try to, it's like a grab bag of whatever that they can find. And I think, you know, there's 3 buckets of homelessness. There's newly, circumstantially homeless that probably would like to not be homeless and would love to be able to get back on track and get a job. And housing first, which I'm not the biggest fan of, it could work for them. That's who we should be putting in that housing. Right. Then there's the mentally ill, and then there's the drug addiction. We cannot think magically, we wave a wand and I move you from the curb inside, and now suddenly you're free of your depression, your anxiety, possibly your PTSD that has led you to your drug use and all these other conditions. We actually isolate them. We actually compound the problem and even make it worse. So I don't believe, after all the research I've done, everything I've seen, that the model of going from the sidewalk to a house is ever going to work. Because,
you're talking about $160 million potentially taxpayer dollars, $400,000 per unit.
Yes.
I mean, is that just going to be mostly a waste of taxpayer money, in your opinion?
I believe so, because, you know, it would seem that you can, it's easy, it's like, okay, great, we can pick up 400 people and we can put them inside and that would be great. But that's just the cost of the housing. Right. For what period of time? Where does the rest of the money come? Who pays for all the infrastructure for all of these people, right? What we're doing is we're trying to transition people without transformation. So how we ever think that that's going to be a good working model, they need to be transformed before they're transitioned into housing. Imagine if you took the same $158 million, parsed it up by 50,000. You could take 3,000 people for a whole year, either put them through rehab, put them inside, put them into whatever program, they help them get jobs, get them their damn IDs they've been waiting 18 months for. Right? We have 2,000 homeless people. We could spend $50,000 per person and have some left over if we actually utilize that money to help them and not just broom them off the streets so that we can get voted back in and appear to be doing something.
And you've personally seen this happen. You have helped transform veterans who have struggled with homelessness. Can you talk about some of the work that you have done? You have both a nonprofit and a for-profit, correct?
Correct, yes. Our nonprofit, House the Heroes, we partner with all of the teams out there that are helping veterans. And what we say is, it's awesome what you're doing in transition, but they need money to transition with, and that's where we step in. We put them all in a room, and in under 3 hours, we're able to get them delivered to the VA, prep them for all their exams. 80% of the people that we put through our last class received 100%, which is close to $4,000 per month. So they're going to stay on the right track and, you know, be going forward. But the thing is, we don't find them soon enough. If you don't find, especially the veteran population, before they get really depressed and get into drugs, you could lose them. And they could become part of that population that never gets off the street. And that's actually what was the impetus for me to go out in town and go figure out, how did they arrive there? How can I help that situation where they don't end up there? Or if they do, we catch them quicker.
And as far as your for-profit, could you enlighten me a little bit on what that business model is?
Yes, in San Diego, I think we have 200,000 veterans here that represent, $2.3 billion in benefits every single year, but only about 15% of them are actually collecting benefits. So what we do, I'm a Marine Corps veteran, I'm rated 100% disability, so I collect $4,000, per month, because of my dependents. Well, every single veteran, even the VA says, every veteran would get at least $150. Most would get north of $1,000 per month. That's an incredible amount of money, and we're just here to say, if you've never filed, if you need help, if you have PTSD, you've never claimed it, we're your solution. We can deliver you to the gates of the VA and get you rated fastest and the least expensive on planet Earth.
Normally, I would never let somebody plug their business by sitting here, but your business is helping veterans.
Oh, yeah.
And so I felt it was important to get that message out there.
And I appreciate you doing that.
I mean, Kate Monroe, it's always great to talk to you and get your insight. Hopefully, City Hall is listening to you on this housing first, but it doesn't seem like they're really listening to anybody right now.
No, I don't believe that they are.
All right. Well, we'll still keep having you on, and hopefully eventually they'll listen.
We'll keep beating the drum.
That's right. It's all we can do. All right, Lindsay, let's send it over to you.